Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, salutations to Bhagavan Vasudeva. Then today we are going to look at an important aspect of mantra yoga, not only of the mantra yoga. In fact, religion has grown out of this theme that we're going to handle today. And the theme is sacrifice. And from the very earliest times, humans have intuited the efficacy and the necessity of sacrifice in human lives. In the old days, we had these great fire sacrifices, and that sacrifice was a kind of enactment of the first sacrifice which was performed by the Creator in order to bring forth creation. This, as we find it in the Purusha Sukta, one of the earliest hymns in the Rig Veda, that creation itself began with that sacrifice. Now, this Vedic sacrifice is technically called yajna. Yajna, the old fire sacrifices. The earlier aspect of that was called kratu. Don't get bogged down with these technicalities. It's just that sacrifices, Vedic sacrifices, was an enactment of that primeval sacrifice. And also it is symbolic of what you're supposed to do in life. Life can only be elevated, life can only be enhanced through sacrifice. This is the law of life. It is the basis of not only life, it's a basis of love. Wherever there is sacrifice, there will be found love. And this is an act of worship. And this worship is, as we know, it's a slow, kind of gradual giving up certain things that you possess, that you want, that you have, to the Lord. The best things. So imagine in daily life, the highest expression of sacrifice is in a mother's love for a child. That is a sacrifice. The soldiers, you can say, sacrifice for the country. The students, you can say, studies day and night to acquire knowledge. So everything is based on sacrifice, and when that is based on sacrifice, you start becoming elevated. It's a very important factor. So all religions have this element of sacrifices. Okay, this is clear. This whole universe is one sacrifice. This sacrifice is going on and on. Swami Vivekananda says, sacrifice in the past has been the law. It will be so, alas, for ages to come. There it is. Sacrifice is the law of life. Now, when we club this sacrifice, what is this sacrifice? Okay. Now, we all have seen the fire sacrifice, which is performed in the kind of a Vedic ritual. It's not only the Vedic ritual, all ancient civilizations were all fire worshippers. All of them. See? Fire or sun worshippers, whatever. And you find that this fire sacrifice represented the deity, Agni. In our context, we will take this as the deity of the personal god called Vasudeva or Ramakrishna. Okay. Now, in this fire sacrifice, what happens is you take material things and offer them to the Lord in the fire. This is the idea of a sacrifice. It's a symbolic act. It's a worship, the highest form of worship. In the Bhagavad Gita, after enumerating all the various types of sacrifices, the Lord says, of all the sacrifices, I am Japa, Yagni. I am the sacrifice that is performed through Japa, that is repetition of God's name. Now this has kind of blown up all old ideas of sacrifice and made it more pervasive and more internal. Every time you repeat God's name, that God is in that repetition itself. And not only is a repetition, later on he says that I am the mantra, I am the act of oblation, I am the sacrifice. Adiyagno ahmevatra dehe deha vritam varaha. I am the sacrifice. So you have this idea that the fire that we have, the fire, that itself is the Lord. And in this fire, we offer our oblations, and everything like sparks and embers coming out from that fire, as the whole universe has emerged from that primeval sacrifice. So all mantras and all forms of worship has emerged from the sacrifice. From sacrifice, from the Lord himself. The Lord is the fire. The Lord is the sacrifice. The Lord is the mantra. The Lord is the repetition of that mantra. Here you have a tremendous idea of spirituality. And he says that I, as the Lord of sacrifices, I am the ultimate experiencer. Aham hi sarvayajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. I am the Lord of the sacrifices, as well as I am the one who accepts the offerings that have been given to me. I am the enjoyer, the experiencer. So here also we have, he's saying, I am the Adi Yagna, I am the primeval being called the sacrifice. So this symbolic act now has become kind of transformed. The Lord himself says, Mantro aham, I am the mantra. I am what is offered, Ajyam. I am Hutam. I am everything connected. So the Lord himself is a sacrifice. If you get this clear, then I think we can proceed. So when he says, Aham hi sarva yajnana, I am in all sacrifices as the experiencer, the Lord, the witness, and the giver of the results. So now, how do we get transformed? In an ordinary fire sacrifice. In the old days, in the Vedic days, you had to do this fire sacrifice 2 times a day, approximately 2 times, morning and evening. And so in that fire sacrifices, you start putting that ahuti, that fire home. You take either leaf or flower and then you put it out here in the fire. The fire represents the Lord, and you are offering what belongs to the Lord, what has been created by the Lord, into that fire. It's like, they say that worshipping the Ganga, the goddess Ganga, with Ganga water, worshipping the deity with what belongs to the deity. So here we have this idea that we are now offering one by one by one. In this case, you can see the leaf called the bay leaf is offered with the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya Swaha. This is the act of worship. Okay? This is the physical aspect. You can see. Now, as you're offering this maybe 108 times or 1008 times, whatever, in mantra yoga, we use this, and instead of offering a leaf or a fruit or a flower or anything, what we do is we are offering your own mantra. Okay. Now, when we are talking, what are we offering? Every time you repeat the mantra, you are, as it were, offering that mantra at the feet of the Lord. So you can do it with the deity as fire, and also you can use a certain, there are many people who use a lamp. We've got this picture for you to understand that every time you offer a lamp, it's like offering a mantra at the feet of the deity. You have these small lamps, and you take one lamp and you offer it at the feet of the deity with the repetition of the mantra. So this becomes an act which is both physical as well as mental. If you want to just keep it on the mental level, you don't need a physical lamp, the object. You can use mentally the repetition of the mantra as a kind of a small lamp that one offers to it. Every time one repeats the mantra, you, as it were, taking that small lamp and offering to the deity. This is another way of mantra yoga as a sacrifice. We also have, there are some who are, you don't like the idea of lamps. Okay. So you can have flowers. You have a basket of flowers, a collection of flowers, and the deity, depends on the deity. Sri Ramakrishna loves white flowers, so you can use white flowers. Okay, the Divine Mother likes red flowers, you can use red flowers. And the Ganesha also likes red flowers. And there are certain deities, Vishnu likes yellow flowers. So you can have a collection of flowers, different colored flowers, and then you can, with every mantra repetition, offer that flower at the feet of the deity. With the mantra all Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You take one flower and you offer it mentally. Those who have the capacity or who have the tendency of having something tangible to be done here in front of them can use a flower, a tray of flowers, and take a flower and offer one flower at a time to the deity. Those who are a little kind of don't want to be bothered with externals can actually offer a mental flower as an offering along with the mantra. The mantra itself is now represented as a flower, symbolic. Okay, I think this is more or less clear. What happens in this case? We have this problem of visualization and repetition at the same time while knowing the meaning of the mantra. So your visualization becomes kind of inevitable when you're going to offer the flower or a lamb or any kind of, you can see the mantra as a ember of flame of fire to the fire. You can understand it. Yeah, I have to visualize it. You can also take a few drops of water in your palm and offer it. That also becomes anything that it represents you offering that mantra to the deity. So this is the idea, is your best possessions, the best thing that you have in this with you should be offered to the Lord. You don't offer stale, rotten, worm-eaten flowers and fruits and all, and the Lord does not mind. No, kind of. Use the best things. Okay? And that's the idea. So what's the best possession that you have? The very best thing in the world is the name of the Lord. People, they think, oh my God, I don't have anything in this world. I don't have anyone in this world. What a kind of ridiculous way of thinking is this? You have the best thing in this world, and that is the Lord's name. And the Lord's name is nothing but the Lord in a form of a sound. So you already have the Lord in your life. That's the best thing that's happened to you. Well, there are some people who don't appreciate it. So this mantra that you have, possibly that it has been given to you by your guru, who is nothing but a channel. But the Lord himself has come to you in the form of a name, in the form of a deity. And what you are doing is, as we have said, the Lord is the sacrifice, the Lord is the deity, the Lord is the mantra, the Lord is the act of offering. So your whole life now becomes an act of sacrifice, not only during mantra repetition, but otherwise also. Your thoughts, your words, your deeds are now offered as oblations into the fire of the Lord, which is the Lord himself. That's a grand concept. So you bring the concept of the mantra with the concept of sacrifice joined together, and there you have a visualization of the mantra as well as the act of worship, the act of love, the act of sacrifice that's going on. This is what is called mantra yoga. It's a perfect. Okay. Now, you offer the flower to the deity, where you just don't throw it at the Lord, okay, on his face or in the body. Do it respectfully, kind of place it there on his feet. So that's the idea. When you repeat the mantra, you repeat it with devotion and visualize yourself offering that repetition, each repetition, as a flower at the feet of the Lord. So it's an offering over and over and over and over. Don't worry, the Lord is not going to get annoyed if his feet are heaped with flowers, because he is the Lord of the sacrifices and he is the Lord here in the body. He says, Dehesmin, that he is the Lord of sacrifice in this body. So in this body, in this mind, you have the Lord accepting your sacrifice, accepting a mantra. If you can keep even a little of this idea as you repeat the mantra, there is nothing like it. It will be the most powerful spiritual discipline that is in the world. And in this you can get knowledge, obviously. You get devotion, you get concentration, you get yoga, as I say. This is a simple act of offering. Yeah. So what happens is you don't repeat your mantra also fast, like people are in a hurry, they want to quickly finish the repetition. The Lord also wants to quickly leave this place. So quickly finish it off and finish. Okay. No. Take it slowly. And this is for you to also reflect on the meaning of the mantra. We have been speaking about visualization, the correct pronunciation of the mantra, and also to recollect the meaning. What does it mean? All these three things are combined in this act of offering it to the Lord. One by one, by one, by one. Okay? At one point of time in this repetition of the mantra, you will actually feel your mantra as living, as tangible. And you are, as it were, offering that mantra tangibly to the feet of the Lord. Later on, you will find the mantra itself as a part of your being, a part of your soul. And you're offering a part of your soul to the feet of the Lord. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? This is what we need. And what else do you need more? People want so many things. Get this. If you get this, you get the whole world. Because, as I said, this whole universe has come out from that act of first sacrifice, yajna. So in our lives, we represent in a microcosm that grand universal sacrifice. So when you can perfect the sacrifice here in you, you will get that universal sacrifice. How do you practice it? Well, I told you how to practice it. Close your eyes, please. Sit down straight. Use this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's on the screen. Om salutations to Bhagavan Vasudeva. Okay. We'll start with offering a lamp with every repetition into the flame or at the feet of the Lord. Okay. Start now. Chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and offer that lamp at the feet of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Offer it to the Lord as a lamp. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Offer that lamp to the Lord. Now switch it to a flower. Use that same mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Offer it as a flower to the feet of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Offer it as a flower to the feet of the... Visualize the Lord. Repeat the mantra with the act of offering it to the as a flower. Repeat it mentally, please. Visualize the deity. Remember the meaning of the mantra. The deity is Vasudeva. There's a picture of Vasudeva there. So here we have the Lord, as you can see, the form, the personalized form of that mantra is this. Look at this deity. Repeat that. Om, salutations to Bhagavan Vasudeva. You can use it as an English translation also. Om, salutations to Bhagavan Vasudeva. And you offer the flower at the feet of the Lord, along with each repetition. Do it as an act of adoration. Do it as an act of love. Do it as an act of worship. Do it as an act of sacrifice. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So we have this idea of sacrifice now clubbed with the mantra yoga. This is the best, the very best methodology that you could use when you repeat the mantra with deliberation, slowly. Okay, thank you. So there are so many thank yous and pranams and okay. Thank you all for joining in and appreciating. This is the way that we enhance our devotion, we enhance our lives. So the first question is, oh, so profound. We have knowledge of the name of the Lord. Oh, thank you. Mantra yoga is so yes, it's accessible to everyone. Everyone is competent for mantra yoga. There is no extra discipline required to use as a kind of a tool for mantra yoga. This is Swamiji, when we can say we have seen God or God vision, what are the symptoms? Is avatar like Ramakrishna or Sri Ramakrishna still alive? Oh my God. Well, God vision, though it is not related to the topic, things looks like you're into. You cannot see God with these eyes, physical eyes. You cannot see God with this mind, this particular mind. This mind has to have become completely transformed into what Sri Ramakrishna says as the body of divinity. You know, there was one disciple who asked Holy Mother, I want to see God with these eyes. He said, no, you can't see God with these eyes. That's not God vision. Okay. But she makes an exception. Only Swami Vivekananda has seen God with these eyes. But those are, different souls, great souls. So you have developed something called a divine body. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, I am giving you divine eyes now. See this divine forms of mine. Okay. How do you develop this divine body? It is a subtle body which is transformed completely through spiritual disciplines. It has become purified, all worldly dross has been removed off, and it shines in its own glory. So this is the divine vision. Okay. All these forms of all gods and goddesses are not imaginary. The sages and saints have seen these forms and they have then brought it down to us. This form looks like this, and has given us these conceptions. So when we meditate on this form, say of Ramakrishna, now that we have a picture of him also, the real form of Ramakrishna will be seen only much later through a divine, you can say, grace. The vision will be seen inside, not outside. Remember this. It will be seen inside. Whether these gods and goddesses exist, yes, they can be seen. But that's not the end and aim of religious or spiritual life. The end and aim of spiritual life is much different. It goes much higher. There are higher and higher and higher, you can say, conceptions when the object and the subject become one. There are no visions then. Okay, so this is, so what people talk about visions and all, I'm not sure, but most of this either some form of hallucination, some form of drug induced kind of visions or something like that, images, sometimes due to sensory deprivation, sometimes due to a kind of upheaval in the mind or some trauma. People see various things, imaginary things, and speak about visions. So we don't give much credence, or we don't give much value to visions. If what you see has transformed you, your character, that is important. The change in your character, the change in your personality is what counts. Not 20 times I've seen somebody moving up and down, some angels flying about here, and we are not interested in that. That is not religion at all. So there is a kind of a definite change in one's character. So okay, so we have you had said we should follow the Guru's instruction exactly. What to do if the Guru has left the body and now I am not sure if I am exactly following the instruction of my Guru? Well, the Guru has instructed you when he met you, when he initiated you. Well, follow those instructions. That is the broad road map that the Guru has given it to you. And as he does not want a disciple who constantly leans on him or her. What kind of Guru is that who makes the disciple dependent on? No, that's not a Guru. The Guru will make you stand on your own feet. So as you repeat, you follow those broad instructions that the Guru has given, you will fill in the details. At a later stage, your mind itself becomes a Guru. Okay, so you don't have to worry the Guru has left the body. Your Guru is God himself. The Guru is not the physical, the person. That is just a channel. The real Guru is God. Shri Ramakrishna says Satchidananda alone is a Guru. And if you remember that, then you are saved. Otherwise, you'll find in the whole marketplace, there's a scramble for the Guruhood. Who's the best Guru? And the disciple will say, I am the disciple of this, the best Gurus. So it's becomes so commercialized. So we remove all the kind of the discord by saying that God alone is the Guru. So Swamiji, I read that Guru lives in mantra. Is it true? God lives in the mantra. As you go through this whole talk and you will understand. Mantro aham, I am the mantra. The Guru infuses that mantra with his own powers, which the Guru has received from his Guru, and that Guru has received from his Guru. It's a long it's kind of apostolic kind of succession, as they say, the transmission, the transfer of power. The laying down of the hands was one of those kind of symbolic acts of transferring the mantra along with the power. So the mantras can be got on YouTube, in books, even in newspapers you get mantras written down. But they are not effective because it has to be coming from a person who has infused that mantra with the power. So the mantra, the Guru as God lives in the mantra. So remember that. So this Guru is supposed to be venerated. If you repeat the name of God given to you by a human Guru, and that itself is an act of veneration. Thank you. Okay, so we have Swamiji, Brahman alone is reality. Why do you want to go to Brahman? Do you know what Brahman is? Okay, and it's in every creature. Then why people suffer with miseries? Why this vast creation and covering as himself in body? Who are you? Do you know what Brahman is? This whole universe, remember this, listen carefully. This whole universe, which is about 14.8 billion years, is nothing but a drop in the ocean of Brahman. Get this right, okay? Your silly life and silly pains and silly miseries are inconsequential. What do you talk about this pain and misery of your individual life? Who are you, by the way? There are so many creatures. So get this idea. It's a drop. This whole universe is a drop. I'm repeating it. This is a drop in the ocean of Brahman, in the reality. Brahman is not something that the word you just throw about. We get distressed when you hear such things, So this whole universe is a huge network of that reality which is seen through time and space and causation. So that part of the reality which is projected to time, space and causation is this manifested universe, not this world, not your life, not me. Everything there is interconnected. And in this vast ocean of this universe, I'm just talking about a physical universe now. In that vast universe, everything is interconnected. The materials that make up my body and your body have been cooked in stars, in supernovas. Do you know that? Well, so you're connected to the universe. And then there's a higher order of reality called the universal mind. You don't even know that. So there's that higher aspect, and then there's a higher aspect of that same reality called the causal universe. So what are you talking about pain and misery and suffering at the same time talking about Brahman? These things don't gel together. When you can understand that the law of causation, each is balanced so perfectly with everything else, you can never know the dynamics of these things. Let's put it like this. Swami Vivekananda once said, well, this is the devil's world. I could have created a better world. He is quoting John Stuart Mill. Yeah. And Sri Ramakrishna says, he got, how much of the world do you know to say this thing? Okay. So this sin and misery and suffering and pain, your Vedanta says, is due to ajnana, ignorance. The more you have ignorance, the more you suffer. The more you have knowledge, the more you come out of this suffering and misery and pain. Remember this and try to develop this knowledge instead of thinking about misery and pain, and in a way you're blaming that reality for creating this mess. There's no mess here actually. If you want to see a mess, you can see a mess, of course. But the reality is far, 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 far greater than you can even conceive. There the mind stops. The mind dies. So can you exist beyond the mind? Vedanta says yes. You exist even beyond the mind. So what's that beyond the mind? Yeah, try to find it out. Okay. So I gave a long you can answer for Govinda Kansara. Okay. Read the Vedanta very carefully, systematically. Don't cherry pick and say, this is what Vedanta says. So Swamiji, if one practices mantra japa, can he also do Vedantic meditation? Of course. Of course. Vedantic meditation, there are very, very few people. You see, amongst the greatest of disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, one of the greatest, it was only Swami Vivekananda who was competent for Vedanta, practice Vedanta, meditation, etc. Everyone else had to slowly evolve to that state. So, Vedantic meditation starts with the basics, from duality to qualified non-duality to non-duality. So Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of learning archery. When you're shooting arrows, you take a target that's large. And as you keep on practicing, then you can reduce the target to a bullseye. So Vedantic meditation starts with duality. Do that, it will help you. Okay, I get mantra from my guru, then we write it down in a book. My guru passes away. So Amiji, please give. You write it in a book, you're supposed to repeat it. It has to become part of your mind. The mantra becomes part of your mind. The mantra becomes part of your breath. The mantra becomes part of your body. Why write it in the book? So you keep on repeating. The guru passes away, what does it matter? You have the living mantra now. Well, okay. If I repeat Khandana Bhava Bandhana daily with visualization or prayer, will it have the effect of mantra on me? Of course. Of course. You keep on doing it, there's no. But generally, you use a shorter mantra for better concentration. Of course, we have the Gayatri Mantra, which is quite long. There are long mantras. There is no. So you can use the breaker of the world's chain. We adore thee, Khandana Bhava Bandhan. That is written by Swami Vivekananda, and his words are the mantras. There is no doubt about that. Okay, so you can. Swamiji, what is reincarnation? My God. Do reincarnation and rebirth the same? Why don't you check the dictionary for these things? You will find those meanings there. The English words can. Do we really reincarnate, or do you just disappear in Brahman energy? Oh my God. It's not so easy to disappear in Brahman energy. The Brahman is not energy. That this idea of energy has is kind of a new agey, sounds new agey. New ageism. It has nothing. Brahman has nothing to do with energy and all that kind of things. Okay. Now, just a kind of a caution, when you ask questions, this should be related to the subject that has been kind of discussed here. Since you have asked rebirth and reincarnation, yes, they are the same. Reincarnate is the same as rebirth. Okay. Do we really reincarnate? Yeah, you really reincarnate. And do we disappear? Oh yeah, you can. You come from nothing and then you enter into nothing. Okay, is that what you want to mean to say? Or do we disappear? No. You have a long, extremely long line of past existences rolling down even today. So get yourself into a kind of attitude that you better need to cut through these bonds of samsara, the bonds of rebirth. And how do you do that? By worshipping God. That is the best way. Just simply disappearing Brahman will not do. You got to worship God. Worship God with your life, with your mind, with your sense of I, the sense of ego, and then you will come away from the chain of births and deaths. Whether it is real, yes, it is real. There are proofs, plenty of proofs. Why don't you come over here? We will give you a lot of proofs. Okay. Swamiji, I don't have guru, but chant the Maha Mantra with the... Okay, yeah, good enough. Keep on chanting. And as you keep on chanting, you will find you are attracting your guru to you. Never seek your guru. Never. All this, the monk who sold his Ferrari goes out and goes in search of a guru and all that kind of, that's okay in a kind of, for movies and books and all. In reality, the disciple never seeks for the guru. The guru seeks the disciple. It's always like that. This is a law in spiritual life. Okay. Stay your ground, prepare yourself, that is, prepare the soil, and the seed will come by itself. The guru will seek you out. Swamiji, how can I pray for devotion? Pray for devotion, how? I don't have a guru, but I sit quietly and ask for Sadguru's grace to shower me. Yes. How do you pray? You pray like you're talking to someone whom you love. You don't have to use complicated words and very difficult text. Speak your heart out. And that itself will do. Pray for devotion, pray for knowledge, pray for light, pray for illumination. These are prayers. Don't go, oh Lord, I've got a headache. Please cure me. I've got a stomach ache. Oh, I'm studying for an examination. No, that's kind of shopkeeping religion. Don't go for that kind of thing. Go for prayers for devotion. Okay. One must study Vedanta systematically step by step. Then most of these questions will dissolve, just as Swamiji has said himself. Okay, thank you. So there is some smart guy. So is there a best order of practice? Mantra with flowers, japa, and then transition to meditation. Do it with mantra with flowers. Okay, keep on doing it. It's called a bhava pushpam. Technically, it's called bhava. The offering of a mantra as a flower to the deity. There, you do it only. And then this mantra itself, this repetition along with this, will lead to meditation, deep meditation. Let it become natural. Don't say, I'm going to do this for half an hour and then do it for half an hour. Nothing like that. Swamiji, many topics in Bhagavad Purana found which is not found in Mahabharata. Does that mean Bhagavad Purana was written later? Yeah, Bhagavad Purana was written much later. Much later. How do we know? From the language itself. The language used, the literary kind in the Mahabharata is completely different from what you find in the Bhagavatam. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It's just we're not going to fight about it. So it is much later. These things are kind of they are there, but like I said, we need to keep on asking relevant questions. Okay, how to stop excuses? Oh my God! Stop excusing. So you weaken yourself with excuses. First thing you do in spiritual life, take the whole responsibility on your shoulder, Swami Vivekananda says, and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. All the strength and succor you want is within yourself. Therefore, make your own future. Unquote. Swami Vivekananda. Okay, how to develop willpower? Yeah. Do you really want to develop willpower? You go to the gym and start lifting weights. Have a kind of a baseline. If you can lift, say, 20 pounds, start with that. And then keep on building up. Every day increase it by 1 pound. And slowly, slowly, slowly you push and push and push and pull or whatever you like. And then you see you're increasing that kind of weight training. So you can go up to 100 pounds, 200 pounds. Yeah. This is developing. I'm doing it to kind of in a kind of very relaxed way. But everything you do, try to focus on whatever. Suppose you're sitting down, you're walking, you're talking, focus. Focus and focus. That focus will develop willpower. Okay, can mantra meditation help in making mind strong? Oh yes. Do you advise mantra japa for someone struggling with addiction? Oh yes. Oh yes. In one of our previous classes we had said the mantra is powerful, the mind also is powerful, and when you join both of these things together, the combination is fantastic. Only the mind has to be made to understand it has that latent powers. So there you are. Okay. You can take care of anything in this world. You can, as it were, squeeze the whole world in your fist. That kind of power will come. And I'm not joking. It's not metaphorical. Swami Vivekananda himself says in one of his poems, Kurmastaraka charvanam tribunam utpatayamo bhala. We will unhinge the universe, we will smash the stars to atoms. Yeah, you have that kind of power within you. So keep on doing it and it will work for you. How do I stay with the mantra while working all day? Well, if you go back to our previous classes and say, when you do something consciously, that conscious act becomes subconscious. Okay, obviously. So when you're focused on certain day-to-day things, you may not be repeating the mantra consciously, but subconsciously the mind is repeating that. So that's staying with the mantra. So I start out saying it to myself, when it fades as the day goes on. I bring back to my mind during break. So don't worry, keep on, when you're conscious, keep on repeating it, not loudly, please. People will say, wonder what's happened to this person. Person was all right and now suddenly. So the mantra is sacred. So let it be a kind of a secret. So like I said, later on, it is harmonized with each breath of yours. So when you breathe, so hum, sa, I am that I am. So your mantra is repeated with every breath you take. Can women recite the Gayatri Mantra? Can we recite Om before any mantra? Are there any rules for it? In the old days, the very old days, the women were not allowed to repeat this Gayatri Mantra, etc. But in the new days, the women can do everything. So please go on repeating Om as well as the Gayatri also. So this, every age sees its kind of, you can say, modifications, the tailoring of spirituality for the age. In the very old days, the girls used to study along with the boys. It's co-educational in those Vedic schools, in the Guru's house. So they used to chant the Vedas together, and later on, it was still in the pre-Christian era that the girls were told, your fathers or your brothers are going to teach you, don't need to come to school. Okay. And that started the whole kind of descent. So you can, please go ahead and repeat the mantra, the Gayatri as well. Can intuition develop through mantra? Oh yes, perfect. Just remember, intuition is different from instinct or insight, as they say. This instinct or intuition, what people understand as subconscious, you can say, joining of certain ideas or certain things. They are subconscious. But in spiritual intuition, it comes from the higher mind. For instance, you have a circle, there's a space within the circle, and there's a space outside the circle, the circumference also. So spiritual intuition comes from outside the circle. It's like a comet that shoots in from outside, comes within that space, inner space. Okay. While subconscious instincts or insights come from within that space in the circumference. Swamiji, is mantra and hymns the same? Hymns are, what do you mean hymns? Hymns are longish. Hymns are forms of, yes, they are the same. But a mantra, proper mantra, is condensed prayer, condensed hymns. So everybody likes things condensed. So things are condensed. So Sri Ramakrishna says Sandhya merges into Gayatri, Gayatri merges into Om. So it's a kind of condensation. So use the condensed form of that hymn. What is the effect of Kundalini awakening? What are the symptoms? Oh my God. Well, what happens? Oh, that was fantastic. Don't go in for the Kundalini business right now. Okay. The Kundalini can be awakened most naturally and most safely through the repetition of the mantra. This is Sri Ramakrishna's advice. It's advice of all the great seers. So repeat the mantra and you will be able to awaken. What is Kundalini? Kundalini is nothing but a snake. There's no snake there. It's a symbolic representation of a coiled spiritual energy, the latent spiritual energy within you. There's no snake down there at the bottom of the sacral plexus. Okay. So get that thing out of your mind. Don't mistake symbology with the real things. Symbology is symbology. So your spiritual potential is latent. The mantra japa will awaken that potential. I have got away from panic disorder with your practical approach session. Oh, good. Thank you. So keep on doing these kind of mantra japas. Okay. Swamiji, can mantra japam cut down the effect of bad karma? Yes. The mantra can cut all sins. Janma Papa Nashana. The mantra, when it's repeated, can destroy the sins of many lifetimes. Do it with sincerity and you will see the results. Swamiji, while repeating Om, should a person visualize a deity or the symbol Om? Well, you can do either one of the two things, but visualization is necessary. Only much later on you can hold or concentrate the mind only on the visual, you can say the audible sound of the mantra, not the visual side. So if it helps you, do it. So visualize the deity along with the symbol Om while repeating Om. That will be good. You know, the mind has a faculty for visualization. So don't suppress that faculty. Okay. It has also the faculty to conceptualize words. Use that faculty. So yeah. Are both the Sthula and Sukshma Sharira affected by chanting of the mantras? Yes. Both the gross and the subtle bodies are affected by the chanting of the mantra. Would it be appropriate to say that it is the prana which is actually influenced? So even the prana, the life force, is also affected by the mantra. The mantra becomes one with the gross body, one with the vital force, and one with your mind. So it not only becomes one, it transforms all of them. Okay, yes. So we have this whole thing it influences the subtle body and also the causal body. The mantra is supreme. We stop here for today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.